Well, 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 here we are. A BMW on the bench. Although, it's not really a BMW. I'm pretty sure this is a HPI RS4. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not very well versed with HPI on-road cars. But, I bought this one. Took a bit of a gamble, but if you don't take the risk, you don't know. When I bought it, the centre diff, or whatever you want to call it, the spur gears, they're a bit stripped, and the previous owner had already taken it all apart, so all the servo, the receiver and everything's off. We've got a load of screws and all this stuff that was just randomly loose inside the box because he didn't really want to post it, and when I managed to persuade him to post it, he just threw it all in the box and said, see you later. But what we're here to do, this suspension doesn't seem very good, does it? It's a bit springy. I think there's supposed to be oil in them, and I don't think there's any oil left in them, but we can sort that out at a later date. So what we're here to do at the moment is to see whether this engine's going to run. One of the things you'll probably notice is that whatever moron decided to use this last, he put a piece of cloth over the carburetor as an air filter. I don't care what anybody says. I know a lot of some on-road people, where they over on carpet or on a tarmac surface, they'll use a mesh as an air filter. But I don't care what anybody says. It's completely useless. A nitro engine needs a proper filter because even the smallest pieces of dust can do some damage. So, bit of a concern, but we have got pressure. One of the things I've noticed is there's a piece of wire, don't know whether you can see that, a piece of wire going through that hole on that engine mount there, going up, and then it goes underneath the carburetor and just pokes out there. It seems to be doing absolutely nothing. Ah. Alright, I've worked out why it's there. It's there, the piece of wire is there to stop the bloody throttle slide, throttle butterfly from coming out, because that wire stops it. And without the wire, if we get rid of the wire, that just goes round and round and then comes out altogether. There's a spring inside there which is messed up. Something tells me this probably won't run very well, if at all, with this carburetor. We might have to swap it over for another carb, because it shouldn't be like that. I've got a few engines up there on the shelf. We might be able to nick a carb off of one of them, and we'll see if this engine's going to run. But I don't think it'll run with this carb. I might have to get a rebuild kit. That's not very good at all. Let's get one of these engines down. So this is a T15. It's the same engine. I'm pretty sure this is a T15. Yeah, it is. So this is the same engine. Now that shouldn't, see, this is the same carburetor. See, that doesn't come out of there at all. It's held in. So, and that's how it works. Full throttle, tick over. Full throttle, tick over. So, I think I'll nick the carburetor off of this engine and put it on this one. And if this engine turns out to be not very good due to having the shit piece of cloth as an air filter, I can always just put the car back on this engine and put this engine in the car, because this is a good engine. So, right, let's get doing such things, shall we? What do we need? We need a thing. Not that one. Not that one. I'll have to go and get another one. Back in a minute. Alright, I've got a case of things. We should be able to find the right thing in here to undo that thing there. Let's have a look. What size thing do we need? Not that one. Not that one. That one. That's the right size thing. And put that thing on that thing. And then we'll go like that. Undo that a little bit. Oh, hello. eBay. That's it. There we go. A bit rusty inside that engine, but that's right. So we've got one carburetor. Where's the little bolt? Put that back on. I didn't need to take it off, but it was a bit stuck, so I was going to try and tap the little pin through, but I didn't need to in the end. So put that engine back up on the shelf. Now let's take off the carb. Well, I could see if it's going to run with this carb on it, but I don't think it will. Something tells me that it was running, so perhaps it will run with it, but we'll take it off anyway. And put a known good carb on it. Yeah, look, we can see in more detail now. That's the stupid little piece of cloth that some dickhead has put on the top of it, some moron. Why would anybody do that? I really don't know. But and then we've got inside there, if you can see, a piece of spring. I don't think you can see it, but the spring's in there and it's all messed up. Let's see if we can get it out. Might better get that out with there we go. That's the spring. That's supposed to keep a bit of tension on that throttle. I think, to be honest, that's probably not that bad. It probably would run actually with this carb if we get rid of this stupid piece of cloth that somebody's... I don't know why they would do that. I mean, you're not going to gain any performance from putting a piece of cloth as an air filter. I mean, if anything, it'll make it worse because the air won't be as clean. It needs good clean air. So that should only go to there. And with that spring in there, I think I'll try and rebuild this carb. Yeah, it's a bit stuck there. I'll try and rebuild this carb and hopefully put it back on the engine that it come from. But for now, we'll put this good one on. And I don't know what sort of a tune this carb's got on it, but we'll put this on. And try and give it a start up. With this one. So we can go in there like that. And then we can get that. Might have to use a little extension bar. Do that up. Not too tight, you don't want to strip out the bolt, but tight enough that it'll seal. Right. Get rid of that. So now we have this springy look. Do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking this could be a very good drift car. If it turns out to be any good, it could be a very good drift car. I'll have to replace the rock solid. That is a rock solid piece of pipe. Absolutely rock solid. Whether it's meant to be rock solid or if it's gone solid over the years, I'll never know. But so Let's put that fuel line on there. That's not really any good the way he's got that routed, because as you can see the fuel pipe is going to hit on the bell end, and we don't want it hitting on the bell end because then it'll make a hole in it. But yeah, the way that he's got that routed isn't particularly good. I mean, we could put it round that way. Once all the diff casing and everything's back together, I'll reroute that so that it doesn't hit the bell end, and we'll be alright then. So the pull start's fallen off and it's gone down here, so that's the pull start. Right, we've got fuel already in the tank, but I might add a little bit more. I'm going to give it a heat up. I'm going to use the heat gun, because it's, for starting up old engines, well not old, but ones that ain't been started for a while, I find a heat gun's a bit better than the engine heater. It's just you can get it all around, and I don't like getting the engine heater dirty doing this. Is a dirty old engine, so give it a bit of a heat up and we'll be back in a minute. Right, so I've heated it up. I struggled to get this pipe off in order to prime it, but I managed to get this rock solid exhaust bit of pipe off, blew down it, primed it up. So let's see if it's going to run. I'm going to turn it round this way because I don't want to get nitro blowing that way. Put that right to the edge. Let's have a look. It's going to be awkward trying to pull it like that, but I want the exhaust to blow that way. I don't want it going all over me bench. So I don't think we'll make much of a tick over, but it's not going to go nowhere because we've got no drivetrain. Here we go. And it's awkward trying to pull it like this. One thing I will say is this whole thing stinks of fish, and I've just noticed the bell end isn't even attached. There's not a screw in it. There's no screw in the end of the bell end, so that's got to be sorted out. So this engine's got to come out anyway. Right, let's see if it's even going to start. Let's see if the glow plug's any good. Might not even have any fireage, might we? Well, there's no copper washer in there, so it's missing the copper washer, so it's not going to seal very well. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not looking good. Let's try a different glow starter. Oh, now we're going. This one's flat. Right, we haven't got a copper washer. There's no copper washer on the glow plug, so we might not get very good compression because, well, it's not going to be sealing properly. But now we've got a glow starter that actually works. Let's see what it's going to do. That bell, I really should put a screw in the end of that bell, but it ain't going to come off because, well, it can't. I've got to try and hold the throttle at the same time. I'm going to have to do it this way, aren't I? If you can't see, I apologise, but I've got to try and hold the throttle shut as well as pull it, and it's not as easy as you might think. This is the fuel that was in it, by the way. Don't know what it is. Could be anything. Spinning again. Yeah, it does run, but the running issues could be due to, you know, the carburetor. It might have run all right on the one it come with before, but the one that I've put on it, I don't know what sort of a tune it's got on it. It come off of an engine that I've not used. So I'm just going to put this glow starter on charge, 2 minutes. Right, let's give it one more go, and then I'm going to have to take the engine out, put a screw in the bell end, and while I'm there I'll just clean up the whole lot. That'll be for another video. That'll be for the clean up video. Right, let's see. Wants to run, but not very well. Well, we know that there is potentially some life there. I probably shouldn't run it too much more without a screw in the bell end. I mean, nobody likes not having a screw in the bell end, so yeah, we know that it does potentially run. How well? Anybody's guess. Just charging up my glow starter there. I always like to have 2 charged at any one point, so if one does happen to go flat, or I can lend one to someone or whatever. Nice. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to get the part numbers off of these spur gears so I can order the right ones. Put all this back together, all this nonsense commotion what's going on, and I'll try and find a screw for the bell end. Yeah, and it's such an easy platform. Take the engine off, tank off, obviously the exhaust will come off with the engine, then all of this is free. I can clean all that dirt up, bit of brake cleaner, bit of air, a few cloths. That'll all be spick and span, a whole lot, ready to go back together with new spurs, or diffs, or whatever you want to call it. All this will be cleaned up nicely. And we'll sort the engine out. Might get a new pull start while I'm at it as well. Lovely. Nice one, you lot. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.